What if you woke up one day as a child and knew you didn't belong in this world? What if your soul remembered a life from 3,000 years ago? This isn't a horror story. It's real, and it's the story of Dorothy Eady, or as history would come to know her, Omm Sety, the woman who may have lived twice. It began with death. 3-year-old Dorothy Eady fell down a flight of stairs in her London home. A doctor arrived, examined her, and quietly told her parents the unthinkable. "I'm sorry, she's gone." But an hour later, while discussing funeral arrangements, they heard something. They ran upstairs and found little Dorothy, sitting up, playing as if nothing had happened. No injuries, no memory of what had occurred. Except something was different. Dorothy began telling her parents that she wanted to go home. But home wasn't London. It was a place with columns, gardens, and gods with animal heads. She'd speak in a strange, foreign accent. She became obsessed with temples. And at night, she'd scream from nightmares of a life she never lived. Or had she? One day, her parents took her to the British Museum. She dragged her feet through the halls until they reached the Egyptian gallery. Suddenly, she sprang to life. She ran to the statues, kissed their feet, and yelled at people for wearing shoes in front of the gods. Then, she froze before a mummy's case and whispered, "These are my people." Dorothy Eady had found home. By the time she was a teenager, she was fluent in hieroglyphs, self-taught. She claimed a spirit named Hora would speak to her at night, guiding her to write in symbols she didn't consciously understand. Each morning, pages of ancient script lay scattered across her room. She said it was a message from her past life. According to Dorothy, she was once Bentreshite, a young priestess in the temple of Sety I at Abydos. She fell in love with the pharaoh himself. But when she became pregnant, temple law dictated death for a consecrated virgin. To protect her lover, she ended her life. Now, thousands of years later, she had returned. In 1933, Dorothy moved to Cairo after marrying an Egyptian man. When her ship docked, she fell to her knees, kissed the ground, and wept. "I'm finally home." She renamed herself Omm Sety, Mother of Sety. Her husband left her. But Egypt never did. Working with Egypt's Department of Antiquities, she shocked archaeologists. She predicted the location of long-buried gardens, undiscovered tunnels, and unpublished layouts of ancient temples. At the Temple of Sety the Wantui, where she once lived, she navigated its halls blindfolded. She said she remembered them from a former life. In 1972, Omm Sety claimed Queen Nefertiti's tomb lay behind a wall in Tutankhamun's burial chamber. Archaeologists laughed, until 2015, when radar scans revealed she was right. She also claimed a hidden library beneath the Sphinx's paw, and modern imaging has found cavities there too. Coincidence? Or memories from a former self? Dorothy spent her final years in Abydos, near the ruins she believed were once her home. Locals adored her. Scholars respected her. She lived barefoot, prayed in ancient rituals, and refused to leave the past behind. When she died in 1981, she was buried just steps away from the Temple of Sety the Fernpurs, her eternal resting place in both lives. Was Dorothy Eady truly reincarnated? Or a woman so obsessed with Egypt she rewrote her identity? Science remains silent. Skeptics roll their eyes. But her predictions came true. Her knowledge was profound, and the question still lingers. What if some of us really have walked this earth before? Do you believe in reincarnation? Was Omm Sety a priestess reborn? Or just a mystery we can't explain? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're as fascinated by lost memories, ancient lives and forbidden knowledge? Subscribe for more stories that question everything we know about reality. Until next time, keep your eyes open. The past might just be your future.